today I want us to have a little chat. Anyway, it's a serious one. It's still about GMO. See, the quest to pollute the seeds of Africa is just, I think, is a target. Is a target, and they are doing everything to accomplish this their goal. And the painful thing now is that we now have African companies who are propagating GMO products. And these products are causing a lot of harm to the health of the African people. But to these companies, their interest is the gain they make from these things. And that is why they liaise with these people that are after the seeds of the African people. Your Majesties, it's alarming, because whenever I talk about this, I keep telling you that they are after the core of ourselves. They just want to go down to destroy us. Mind you, food can either heal you or make you sick. Back in the days, our ancestors lived by herbs, by fruits in the forest. When they are sick, they know what to go and get from the bush that they put together and cure themselves. It is from what they eat that they heal themselves. They were not mixing chemicals in the name of drugs or medicine. They were healing themselves from nature. They were healing themselves from the seeds that they have. But at this time, they are after these same seeds and these same herbs of ours and everything in nature that is there to keep us together or keep us alive or keep us going as the melanated people. Now, there is an issue that have been on ground. These shameless companies in Africa decided to sue one Pan-Africanist who is really on their neck, and he's like, why are you propagating GMO products to the African people, especially the Zimbabweans?
So as you can see, guys, I'm all dressed up today because I'd actually come to the Gauteng High Court. I actually flew in from Zim 3 days ago to come here to South Africa to attend this court case, because INSCO and Z Kudnaris had gone to the court to say that I am in contempt of court for basically publicizing the GMO results and the glyphosate results, and the fact that I was fighting to prove that I never defamed them in the first place. And so their lawyers put in an application. My lawyers at Edward Nathan Sonnenberg put in a very, very powerful argument about my right to freedom of speech, my right to be a journalist and blogger, and my right to speak truth and to whistleblow on the crimes committed by INSCO as long as I can prove them. And so when the MVR attorneys or lawyers that being representing INSCO went into court, they could not argue the contempt, so it was struck off the roll. What this means is that I can now freely write about what INSCO is doing, I can whistleblow, and I can expose their crimes as long as I can prove the facts. That basically makes the defamation order useless.
According to WHO, the country with the highest rates of cancer is Zimbabwe. And this same very company, what's the name of the company? I'm going to leave you with some of his deliberations, right? But I just want to prepare your mind, right? The name of that company is called INSCO. Okay? All right, I'm going to read through this. I'll leave it there on the screen for you. It said, for months, I have been saying that according to WHO, Zimbabwe has the highest cancer death rate in the world. So Zimbabwe is topping in the list here. Hungary, Poland, and Romania. Zimbabwe. Should any country in the continent of Africa be topping the list of the highest cancer rates, death rates in the world? Something is definitely wrong.
Hi, my name is Rutendo Matingharare, and many of you know me as the man that removed sanctions from Zimbabwe. But today, I'm not talking about the issue of sanctions. I'm actually talking about a bigger problem in Africa, which is food colonialism. So, in front of me, you see there are packs of mealie meal that are manufactured by the leading mealie meal manufacturers of Zimbabwe, and all of them here are illegal and smuggled into the country illegally. Now, in Zimbabwe, we've got what we call a GMO law or ban that does not allow genetically modified foods or GMOs. These are all GMOs. And the question is, how did they get into the country when there is a ban on GMOs? Clearly, they were smuggled by these companies who corrupted government officials at border posts in order to bring them in. Zimbabwe says it does not allow GMOs in the country because when you speak to high-ranking government officials, they'll tell you that when we had our land reform, and then we went under sanctions, could not get machines, could not get capital, could not get fertilizers, we then began to import maize meal from South Africa. And when we began to import this maize meal from South Africa, particularly in 2008, when the sanctions were tightened, this is when we saw an increase in cancers that went in relationship with the imports. They say this privately, but they do not say it publicly, even though they've got the statistics. As a result, they put a ban on the importation of GMOs to feed human beings, even though now and again they will issue a statutory instrument that will allow the importation of maize GMO to feed animals. So, right now there's a ban on feeding human beings with GMOs, and these companies, particularly Insco, that is the monopoly in the marketplace, in partnership with Tiger Brands of South Africa, they are bringing in these GMOs. Then we took their food for tests after they went to South African courts to try and silence me from making videos like this that tell you that their food have got GMOs. And when we tested this food, we discovered that not only Insco but everybody else, Blue Ribbon and Sturpo, actually had toxic chemicals called glyphosate in the GMOs that are already illegal, and that glyphosate causes cancer. Glyphosate is banned in 32 countries across the world. They don't even allow people to spray it on their lawns because it contaminates the water, it contaminates water tables, but more importantly, it causes cancer. Now, many people said it might cause cancer. No, there are studies that have been done on rats in labs that prove that rats that eat GMO with glyphosate have got a 70% chance of getting cancers and tumors in the breasts, in the stomach, and in their uterus. And then we've got studies that have been done in America that prove that ever since glyphosate and GMO started being used in agriculture and feeding people, there's been a commensurate increase in cancers and other chronic diseases, diabetes, Alzheimer's, autism, and so many other diseases. So there's no doubt that glyphosate causes cancers. But the food lobby in America and the world over, they buy politicians to then give us this vague analysis that it might cause cancer. They cause cancer. The government of Zimbabwe has confirmed it. They might not confirm it on record, but they have confirmed it that they have seen a rise in cancers. Now, Zimbabwe now has the highest cancer death rate in the world. And we believe it is this illegality. And this is what we're going to call dolus eventualis. They know that it is criminal to bring this illegal into the country. And then there's now a consequence and health consequences and deaths that are occurring. So this means that they broke the law, knowing fully well that there could be consequences or there could be deaths that could arise from that. And that's why we Zimbabweans have got to rise up and protest. Go to government, ask for permission to protest, particularly at Insco's doorstep, because they're the ones that went to South African court to silence me from complaining about the fact that they've got GMOs and these chemicals. And instead of them stopping their chemicals, they decided to try and silence me. And for 10 months, they've continued to feed people this illegal food, and they've continued to actually bring this food into the country illegally because there's some government officials that they're bribing to do this.
Like I said again, we are now the ones using our hands to destroy ourselves in collaboration with these people that want us out of the universe. And it's quite unfortunate, I tell you. Just the past week, what's his name? The one in charge of this whole thing, Bill Gates.
What exactly makes you a computer engineer who didn't even program his initial product himself, a valid representative of the pharmaceutical industry?
I have read a lot of books about that
Yes,
topic.
but how does that...
Wait a second. And met with specialists from the field all over the world.
Mr. Gates, with all due respect, how do you feel about it now? Now that it's becoming more and more evident that the medication you were promoting, whilst having heavily invested in it yourself, thus making billions of it,
This is not how the world works.
has caused countless injuries, side effects, and death.
That's a very immature way of looking at it, quite frankly.
So here's my final question to you. Is this a behavioral pattern?
What do you mean exactly?
Taking technology from other people that you don't understand, selling a product full of bugs, causing massive damage and profiting from it in a spectacular way?
No, 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 no. This is not how the world works.
Can you sleep at night?
Okay, that's enough. This interview is over.
Bill Gates was in Nigeria and in what's the name of this other place? And Ethiopia. And what do you think Bill Gates was doing? Bill Gates was only moving around farms and hospitals, claiming that there is a particular medicine now that they have produced for women who are pregnant. See, if we are joking and we sit down and think that nothing is happening, right before our faces, who we are will be destroyed. They are gradually genetically disrupting our DNA. Okay? They are adding a lot of things to our system so that we will not be who we are anymore. Why is Bill Gates having interest in farms and what people eat alone in Africa? You will not hear Bill Gates donating money for, helping the currency, boosting the currency or what have you. He's only interested in what Africans take into their system because their plan is to destroy us from our core. And we are here joking. The pain I had was to see a lot of our Nigerian influencers, honoring the invitation of Bill Gates, sitting with him short. They made videos and put it online, telling the world like it's now an achievement for them that they met with Bill Gates. They are happy, propagating the agenda of Bill Gates in their country. And it pains me because I'm like, I don't know the level we are. And in Ethiopia, they were just there happily showing him their farms. And then I believe he did not just go there and live like that. He went with something. According to him, he went to help. Help Nigeria, help Ethiopia. Help. You think Bill Gates is in Africa to help? If in this day and time, you think Bill Gates is moving around Africa to help, then I think you need to wake up because you are still sleeping. We need to create that awareness. Let people know that GMO is gradually taking the market of the African people, which it shouldn't be so. There will be a time that if we keep going on like this, there will be a time that we will not have anything organic anymore. You might think you will not be alive as a day, but you have children, you are giving birth to children. What do you think those children will survive on tomorrow? They are basically tormenting this man because he is out there fighting for the liberation of Africa. This is still bondage. We are still slaves. Because how in the world the whole continent of Africa cannot have control over their seeds and what they eat? How? Can you explain that to me? They have been tormenting him, frustrating him. He's been going up and down. Why do you think he's fighting this battle? Do you think he's fighting this battle for himself alone? A lot of Zimbabweans have died because of cancer. There's nothing good that comes with GMO. Most of our foods in our stores today are GMO products. Sometimes you are scared to even go to the stores to get things. You prefer going to the bush market because that is the one you have full trust on. And even now, they are directly going into our farms to go and pollute the minds of our farmers to accept GMO seeds to plant. We have to spread this awareness, Your Majesty. This is not a joke. Right before our eyes, we will be destroyed if we do not do anything about this GMO thing that is gradually getting out of hand. So we have to, put our heads together and fight for the motherland. If not, nothing will work. And that is for a fact. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.